Good morning, everybody. Good morning to you. Oh, happy Wednesday to you. It is a very windy, rainy here in Charlotte, North Carolina. They actually, doesn't surprise me, but it surprises me. They canceled school today. They canceled school today. They just canceled school today. I just like, I part of me is just like, thank goodness for my job to actually have some flexibility. So I first come with appreciation. But God bless those parents who can't I mean, we're told this like in less than 10 hours. And we have to adapt, change. I mean, I don't know what people do. I mean, I probably have an idea what people do, but it just amazes me. Like, I wonder if they sit there in the boards, like, you know what, guys, this is probably going to put a damper on some parents. This is probably going to put some strain on them. Like, are we sure we want to do this? But I'm sure being a litigious type of society that we're in, it probably financially, just makes more sense. And you can only imagine. I'm sure there's a lot of other things that I think we talked about it yesterday or 2 days ago. You can't judge a book by its cover. And we don't know all behind the scenes. But anyways, so good morning, everybody. Good morning to you all. Yes, for those of you, please pass the word around. Please let people know that we had to make a decision. And basically behind the scenes, what took place all is that I'm a very big advocate. If it cannot be consistent for 3 days in a row, it's out. I don't deal with it anymore. And we cannot keep Facebook consistent with Zoom on the whole, if it's on, not on, is it recorded, Brock, not recorded? How does it work? Like, I get a lot of questions throughout the day, and we can't be consistent. So this is kind of for really any business or decision making you're doing. And I don't want to take up more than Coach Todd's time, but if you can't be consistent with a habit, a behavior, a strategy, or a concept, or anything else, get rid of it. You're just trying to force a round peg in a square hole, and you'll spend more time trying to force something to happen than working on something that you can make good. So for those that typically are on Facebook and can't do it, sorry. I hate to hurt your feelings, but you'll get over it. Okay. But it's just life. And we're going to stay on Zoom. And one thing's for sure, John Hart, we are not going back to StreamYard. We are not going back to StreamYard. I can tell you that. That just was a disaster for us. So here's the deal. If you want to have an automatic reminder like I do, be in the morning with the link. So all you got to do is push the button, put your email in the chat, and Jay will add you into my calendar so you can get the notification that I get to make your life so much easier, because it's all about convenience. I get it. I know Facebook's easy. It's a convenience boom. But if you want it, put your email in the chat and we will add it. Jay had no idea I was going to say it because now she's like, damn, now I got extra work to do. But I'm sorry, Jay. But just put your email in the chat. That way we'll put you in the calendar and you will get notified each morning. The link will be in the notification. We're going to make your life so simple, because if you're not one click away, Coach Todd knows that it just doesn't happen. You vanish and you disappear. Coach Todd's all about branding. He is speaking here in Charlotte, I believe, next week. I'm excited to hear about that. So if you want to know branding and you're in Charlotte, you need to come listen to this man. I've been blessed and fortunate to have lunch with him. I've been in the rooms with him. I've seen him speak, an amazing speaker. And if you need to know about branding, you've got to talk to this guy. You need to know about what he does in his business, his coaching. Amy Kane's with him. I know many people are with this man in branding and coaching and taking your business to the next level. And you need to get in touch with this guy. So without further ado, Coach Todd, good morning, brother. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Brock. Thank you for having me on today. And thank you for last month for being on the book launch. I really appreciate you and Chad being there and helping to get that moving. That was exciting for us. Shameless plug. If you haven't got the book yet, you need to get the book. Within 24 hours, we hit the Amazon bestseller list. Road to $1 Million. It was, there it is. Thank you, Brock.
Right here, brother. Got it right here.
It was amazing. And Brock and Chad made it all happen. We wouldn't have sold a book without those two on the show that night. Today, I want to talk about two different theories, right? Two different theories. I mean, most of you guys know that I own a few martial arts schools, and every year we do instructor certifications. We have a junior instructor certification. Kids from 6 to 12 come in and learn psychology. They learn business. They learn personal development. They learn human behavior. And I taught these two theories to a bunch of kids, and they understood it. So if they can understand it, I'm pretty confident you guys today should be able to understand it. I'm going to try to break it down super simple. I feel like there's two things that entrepreneurs we struggle with. And the first one is called signal to noise ratio, right? Signal to noise ratio. Claude Shannon is the person behind that. Basically, signal to noise ratio is what's the thing you need to be paying attention to, and what are the things that are distracting you? For most of us, we're going to talk about business and personal life. I'm going to speak personally about mine today. In business, this means the ability to focus on critical data. What's important while ignoring misleading trends, unnecessary commentary, and irrelevant details. I can specifically remember a business that I was working with. It was a membership-based business. This was about 5 years ago. And all they said is, we need 30 members a month. We need 30 members a month. We get 30 members a month, we're going to get to the other side in a year, and we're going to be blowing up. And I went in and looked at their stuff, and I said, I will not do one thing I will not help you market or brand at all. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't think marketing and branding is your issue. You're so focused on making more money, which we all need to, right? We all need to make more money, that you're missing why you're not making money. Like you're so focused on this noise of I need more income that you're not understanding why you don't have income. You have 22 members on average over the last 2 years quit every single month. And if 22 members are quitting every month, you're going to slowly grow by adding +8. But you really need to pay attention to the signal that's yelling at you and screaming at you, close the back door. Can we reduce that to 10 or less? We get so caught up sometimes by the shiny object syndrome that we really stop focusing on what's the most important piece. I look at it from if you look at it from a martial arts perspective and you're teaching a bunch of kids, if you have one kid on this yellow stripe and the two kids beside him and the one kid behind him are spinning in circles and moving around, it doesn't matter how strong your voice is teaching this kid, the noise around this kid is so much that he can't focus on what I'm talking about. So now he can't learn the lesson of the day. He can't learn the new kick, the new punch, the new whatever we're trying to teach that day. How many things are we surrounding ourselves with that's nothing but noise? Right. And I know we've talked about this and we're going to talk about it again. You know, when you sit down to work, do you put everything you have on focus mode? Or does your phone vibrate? Or does your watch vibrate? Or does something else ding? I mean, I have to put literally everything on silent for me to get any work done. Because it doesn't take much for my brain to be distracted. If that fan turns on, I can go, oh, the fan's on, and then I'm down a rabbit hole, right? It doesn't take much. So what noises do you have around you on a regular basis that you can't get rid of, right? That you need to get rid of? Making sure in business that we're really looking at the data points that really make a difference, that really move the needle. You can look at your business, and trust me, in any business, you can come up with 72 different points of things you need to study and look at to see if the business is healthy. Yeah, but that's 72. You can really narrow that down to a handful, and that handful will come across the board and cover so much more. You know, entrepreneurs face every day, we're facing overwhelming amount of data. Think about it: market trends, customer feedback, competitor analysis, financial reports, new industry news, new laws coming about. How much of this are we just is not pertinent? Like it's important, but it's not super important. It's not going to help me get somewhere faster. A Harvard Business Review said that leaders who prioritize essential information make decisions 25% faster. By prioritizing information, you can make decisions 25% faster. And that improves accuracy by 30%. I mean, if you made decisions 25% faster because you were looking at the right data, not all the data, and you were improving your accuracy 30%, how would that move the needle in your business? What would that look like for you? I mean, if you think about Jeff Bezos, right? He's got the 70% rule. If you wait for 90 to 100% of information to come in, you're too late. Instead of trying to gather every possible piece of data, Amazon executives make decisions when they have about 70% of the necessary information. This allows them to move quickly and stay ahead of the competition. Prioritizing high signal to noise ratio information while ignoring distractions. You don't need all the answers. You need enough of the right ones to move forward. You know, you think about it, paralysis by analysis, decision overwhelm. We talked about this in our junior instructor certification because we have even our adult certification this past weekend. We have a lot of overthinkers in the world. And somebody says, I got this thing and I need to do this thing, but I got 4 options. And they spend 2 or 3 or 4 months thinking about those 4 options. So which one's right? But what if I just said, I've got this one thing today. I'm going to make a decision on this. I don't know if it's right or wrong. I got 4 things to do. Let's pick A. Within 3 to 5 days, you're going to know if A is right or not. Then we'll do B. You'll know within 3 to 5 days if B is right. Right? Long scenario. 20 days later, you've got the right one down because you've been through all 4 of them. But everybody else who's a overthinker, now we're 3 months into this, which is 90 days. You're 70 days ahead of your competition because they're overthinkers. Alicia. Yeah. Who's not though, Alicia? Who's not guilty as charged, right? Everybody, we all have done that at some point in our life. If you're looking at relationships, focus on the core message, right? I was listening to somebody, I think it was Steve Harvey. He had somebody on one of his shows one time. And he said, when two people argue, there's only one reason people argue. Because somebody has to be right. Somebody's trying to beat the other person. And when you're trying to beat the other person, there's really no winner, especially in a relationship, whether it be a friendship or a marriage or any type of relationship. If I try to prove my point to make you wrong, then we're not growing. So the noise becomes, I need to win. The signal should be in a relationship, this is the problem. You and I are going to fight the problem. You're not wrong and I'm not wrong. We have a problem that we're going to solve together. One of the reasons we have so much noise in relationships is because we put emotions with it. I can't believe my wife, my girlfriend, my significant other, my business partner, right? So you say, I can't believe, I can guarantee you there's a lot of emotion that's coming behind that. And there's not a lot of stats and facts with that, right? You cannot argue on emotion. I mean, you can, but you get nowhere arguing on emotion because, again, when it's emotional, somebody has to be wrong. Make conversations clear and more productive. I mean, here's a simple example. Chad, you never listened to me, and I'm tired of feeling ignored. Right? How many have ever had that kind of conversation with somebody? Versus, hey, Chad, I feel unheard when you interrupt me. Can we work on listening better? I know for me, one of the things that I struggled with for a long time is when I pick up the phone to make a phone call and I'm talking, whoever I'm talking to, they've got 4 other conversations going on at the same time. Call your wife, she's talking to the kids. You call a business partner, she's talking to 3 more people, right? You call your best friend, he's talking to 2 more people. There's so much noise that's happening in this conversation. My signal's not strong enough. I'm having to repeat myself 14 times, which makes me not want to call you. So if you get a significant other and she's like, well, you never call me before you come home from work, there might be a reason. The noise is so great that it overwhelms you that you can't make that phone call because it creates more stress to make that phone call than to deal with the consequences of not making the phone call. So now you got to have a clear message, a clear communication with that person saying, hey, when we talk, I don't need 20 minutes. I just need 5 minutes of your undivided attention. That undivided attention, that 5 minutes makes my world turn, makes me feel important, makes me feel like I matter to you. But when I call and you don't talk to me, but you're talking to 12 other people, I no longer feel valued in the relationship. And that really hurts. That, I mean, like those types of conversations are different than you never listen to me. I don't, they're doing their best. Maybe they need to lock themselves in the bathroom for that 5-minute window so that you can feel important, whatever it takes. In today's digital age, constant notifications, social media, and unnecessary content reduce our ability to focus. Studies show that switching between tasks can decrease productivity by up to 40% because of cognitive overload. That was by the University of California. Think about that for a minute. If you are switching between tasks, you decrease your productivity 40% today. Let's flip that back over. You've decreased the productivity in your relationship with your significant other by 40%. Now your relationship is not growing. Now your business is not growing. Now that's 40%, 7 days a week. What does that look like over the course of a year? What does that look like if your business is up and running for 10 or 15 years, or you're in a relationship? What does that look like in your relationship? Right? I can guarantee you after 6 months to a year, animosity builds up. Right? Compound effect. Exactly. Thanks, Brock. You get this animosity, and animosity creeps up. I always say like this. I'm sitting here and I'm having a conversation with Paul, and Paul says something that makes me upset, and I don't say anything to Paul to overcome that, so I lay a brick on the ground. And every time Paul and I have a conversation, I just keep laying these bricks. And after 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 years, I don't have a line of bricks. I've got a wall of bricks between me and that person. And at some point, those are double and triple layered with cinder blocks. And now the friendship and relationship we used to have can't move forward because I've built up this wall of animosity that I can't get past. So I never had the ability to have the conversation around you. When you reduce mental noise, entrepreneurs can focus on business goals instead of distractions. We all know that, but we still get caught up in the distractions. Parents can prioritize quality time with their children instead of being glued to their phones. I am guilty of something ringing and dinging on my phone, right? If you haven't tested out our AI, I got this AI called Harry. When you call our businesses, Harry answers all your questions, tells you everything you need to know about us, sends you to me directly. Even if you need a text about some information, he can text you information, email you information about anything. He can send you straight to anybody on our team. If Harry texts me, I think that's important. That's probably a lead or a client or somebody saying they need something or want something or have taken an assessment or done something. I immediately want to pick that up. And I have to turn all that off and say, nope, my time is with you right now. And if I don't pick up a new client, because I'm hanging out with you right now, this time right here is more important. Right? This time right here is more important than the new client. And that's hard for me because I really want more new clients. I really want more business. I want to help more people. And that was something I had to overcome, is the noise of my business. University of California found that practicing mindfulness reduces cognitive overload and improves decision-making by 22%. This means that clearing mental noise through practices like meditation, deep work, and setting boundaries can significantly enhance clarity and productivity. That's the first theory I want to talk about today. The second one is the confidence luck cycle theory. A lot of people have talked about confidence luck cycle. Dr. Pete Mayers is one that I'm reading some of his stuff, and he says confidence drives action, action leads to success, and in return, success builds more confidence, right? Confidence, let me see how I say this. Entrepreneurs who believe in their abilities are more likely to take risks and create their own luck, right? We all know there's no such thing as luck, right? There's really not anything such thing as luck. On the other hand, people who lack confidence hesitate, missing potential opportunities. So the person that's confident takes more risks. They say yes to more things. They say yes to more things turn out for them. If I said yes to 100 things this year that fit into my lane, and somebody else in my field said yes to 5 things, I have way more opportunities than the other person. And they may say, when you're just lucky, everything falls in your lap. I'm not lucky. I give more yeses. I take more opportunities. I do more things, right? The more I put myself in places, the more opportunities that I'm going to have. The Kauffman Foundation found that 84% of successful entrepreneurs took a major calculated risk in their first year of business, right? 84% of successful entrepreneurs took a major calculated risk in their first year of business. Now, this is something I haven't found studies on yet. I'm looking for this. How many of those same business owners in the 15th year are still taking big risks? That's what I want to know. In the beginning, you have to take risks. If we all started a business tomorrow, we got to say, oh my God, I have no money coming in. I can't support my family. I can't do A, B, or C. But once we get comfortable, do we still continue to take those risks? Probably not. I know for me, I have stepped back a couple of points in my career over the last 30 years and taken less risks to come back in to say, oh man, I'm not where I want to be because I got comfortable. I mean, let's talk about how confidence impacts your personal growth, right? Skill building and opportunities. People who believe in their ability to learn new skills are more likely to seek career and personal growth opportunities. Everything revolves around that. Now, how do you gain confidence, right? How do you gain confidence? Michael Burnoff talks about micro decisions, right? Micro decisions. And when I first heard that, I thought, that's genius. Micro decisions are the things that we don't really think about on a regular basis, but train our subconscious to let us know whether we're going to stick to something or not stick to something, right? So if here's a great example. Here's a great example. Yesterday, actually, what you say yesterday was Tuesday. So Monday morning, I meal prepped, right? I meal prepped for like the whole week. Got it all in my fridge, stacked up, boom, 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 boom. I know everything, what's going to happen on what day. Tuesdays, I head to the gym, right? I got a personal training, so I go to the gym. And I left a little bit later than normal and got to the truck and realized my lunch was in the truck. I'm sorry, my lunch was in the fridge. I thought to myself, if I walk back in and come back out, it's going to take 5 more minutes. I'll just pick up something at the grocery store. I can get a salad and some chicken. Not a big deal. Well, that micro decision that I made a couple of days ago to meal prep, I'm going to do this every day. I then today said, well, that decision is not important. That decision is not important. So it's okay if I don't do it. Well, next time I need to make a big decision, my brain's going to say, well, you can't even do the small decisions like take your lunch, by heavens. If you can't take your lunch, why would we think we can do this big thing? How many micro decisions happen every single day? If you look at people like Steve Jobs, there's a reason he wore the same outfit all the time, the black turtleneck, the jeans, the shoes, right? It's because he didn't want his frontal lobe to be exhausted by what decision do I need to make? Am I going to wear blue today or red today, right? He didn't want that part of his brain to be exhausted by making those decisions. He knew what was going to happen the next day in what order. And he says, by making these small decisions all the time, I'm building confidence that I follow through on my decisions. Micro decisions are, what am I going to wear tomorrow? What am I going to pack for lunch tomorrow? Make my bed today. Those little bitty things, they seem so small, but when we can't follow through with the little bitty things, we can't have the confidence to do the big things because our brain will tell us that we can't do that. So what is it today that you need to say, hey, I need to start making these small decisions and stick to these small decisions? Remember, confidence drives action. If you don't have confidence in the small stuff, you won't have it in the big stuff. You won't make decisions for your business that's really going to make an impact and move the needle for you. When confidence drives action, action leads to success. When you have confidence, you say yes to more things. And then when you say yes to more things become successful. You get more opportunities. And then once you get more opportunities, more success, in return, success builds more confidence. Latrice, that's right, making small decisions consistently. So to wrap up today, 2 things: signal to noise ratio. Cut out, let's be adults here, cut out all the crap. Turn it all off, sit down and work. If you're in creation mode, you need to be creative. You cannot do creative stuff in a manager's window. That's impossible. A manager's window is a 15 to 30-minute meeting. A creator's mindset is I need 4 to 8 hours to work on something. Right? If I'm going to be creative today, I need to set aside a window where I will not be distracted by anybody. Nothing's going to ring and ding. Nothing's going to turn on. Nothing's going to do anything. And if you're going to work in manager mode, then do it in manager mode. I know managers that are working in creator mindset. They have meetings that are 3 and 4 hours long, and everybody's sleeping at the table. Their eyes are open, but they're asleep. Right? And then so no signal to noise ratio, and then confidence, luck. Say yes to more things. Make sure you're doing all the small stuff. All right, guys, that's my talk today. Hopefully you walked away with something. Anybody got something they walked away with today? Make me feel good. Make me feel like I made a difference today.
Was totally awesome. I'm like, I hope Brock just said we're not recording on Facebook. Oh my gosh, I got to get all of that because I was multitasking while you were talking. Oh my gosh, I'm breaking all the rules. In our family, we have this thing when we call each other. When my husband calls me or I call him, if he's even if he's not, he'll say, "I'm in the middle of an engine repair." And I'll know what that means. Like, if he stops doing what he's doing, then he won't be able to get back to it, and he could make a really big mistake. And I'll say the same thing if I'm writing up an offer or something is going on with a closing. I'm in the middle of an engine repair. Or he'll say, I got a marlin on the line. I just hooked a marlin. That's like everybody on the boat stops, focuses. Engine's got to go into idles, got to back up. The mate's got to be there. We lost a fish, right, Brock? We lost a fish. We turn around, fish on. We turn around, and the mate walked. The mate walked up to the bridge. He thought we were done. He didn't think we were going to catch anything. So Brock and I were like, what do we do? So we lost something because someone decided to do something else rather than focus on what was going on.
That's right. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. That was awesome. I like that.
Hey, Todd, it's Michelle.
Hey.
Hey, I shared a book, Great by Choice. You wanted some statistics on successful businesses and stuff like that. If you're really into getting that, check out that book. It might help you.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you guys for letting me sit in today.
I'm a very big, I'll say one thing with notifications and distractions. Who controls your phone? Who controls your notifications? Majority of our problems in our society and entrepreneurs is an abundance versus scarcity mindset on who controls your phone. Because this is what I hear. Brock, if I turn my notifications off, I can miss a deal. I can miss a deal. You're not going to miss a deal. I can assure you, you're not going to miss a deal. But I can assure you, you could miss a deal if you're having a conversation with somebody and you keep saying, hold on, or let me just check my phone, and I wear a regular watch now. I don't wear those other watches anymore because I was constantly doing this. I was constantly picking up my arm. I control my notifications. Not one single other person controls my notifications or your notifications. If you didn't get, the recordings will be put back into Facebook. We're going to record it here, download it, and then we're going to put it on. If you have a problem staying focused because of notifications, you need to either call Coach Todd or to go and re-listen to this, because the biggest problem in our society is notifications, dings, dangs, dumbs, whatever you want to call them. We get so sidetracked. And if you could stay on task on anything you do, that's why football players and athletes, when they practice, their phones aren't out there with them. Coach, we get pissed. So I loved it, and I hope it really sunk in. And I'm not trying to be mean. It's just important, all. Some of you aren't getting your shit done because you're too distracted. And I'm just going to be point blank honest with you. If you want to move the needle, this is what the show is about, is to grow you in every single way. Great message today, Todd. I think Paul has something to say, and then I'll let you close this out, Todd.
Good morning, Coach Ted.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, brother. Always love when you speak. Always get something to take away. My biggest problem, being a high D, being a northerner, being somebody with not a lot of patience, is my delivery. Brock, you're laughing. And it's just the way that, you worded certain things, at the beginning. What are some resources I can use to get myself in there? Because, I don't mean to come across the way I do, but I'm just short and to the point, but the way you said it just sounds so much better. So what resources can you help me?
Oh my gosh. I always ask this question to myself. Would I talk to my what do I want somebody talking to me the way I'm talking to others? Do I want somebody using that tone? And remember, 93% of communication is nonverbal. So, you can say it nice as you want, but if your body language isn't reading well, and if the people you're around is come across harsh, they're going to take it that way. And I would talk to a bunch of Gen Zers, right? Talk to a bunch of young people on a regular basis. That's really what's helped me with my communication. I work with a lot of younger people, and it keeps me in check because I just want to be like, no, Paul, you didn't do your job yesterday. Just go do it. Like, that's just facts. Like, you didn't sleep last night. Go sleep, right? But I have to storytell, and I have to do a lot of things that help me communicate differently. But I've got some resources. I got some different books and some things I've listened to. That I'll make a note that I'll send you over later today.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Because my
You're
dogs
welcome.
don't seem to care the way I talk to them. So that's not happening.
If anybody else wants that from Todd, if you like Todd, let's just put that in the Facebook group when you see it. So that way you can help other people. And then if you want and if you specifically want it, put your email in the chat and put TH. So that way we know directly to send it to Todd. So if you want his stuff, put your email and put TH. So that way when we review the chats, we'll get everything over to Todd.
Awesome. Appreciate you, Brock. All right, guys, that's the end of the show today. Stay tuned. Every Thursday is the best of the best. It never gets better. You know what you're going to walk away with. You're going to walk away with a life-changing experience every Thursday. Ooh, a lot of people. Thanks for putting your stuff up. Sorry, squirrel got distracted. The chat was up. Sorry. Doesn't take much. All right.
We just talked about this.
We just talked about this.
I know, right? Oh, man. I don't turn the chat on till the end, but now I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh, my gosh. All right. Anyways, see you guys tomorrow. It's going to be a great show. Have a good one, guys.